Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Under the Radar. I am your host, Sammy Bovitz. Guys, this is the 5th episode. Not a huge milestone, I'll say that. I will say this, though. I have been playing around with a lot of stuff the last few weeks. I know you guys might be a little confused, so I'm just going to tell you guys what's going to go on in the future here at Under the Radar. This is the second straight we've had like an all-state special with all Arizona, but now all Colorado. But this is not going to be every week, obviously. We're going to go back to 3 different teams, 3 different states, 3 different cities, really shine a spotlight on everybody and everybody we can. You guys, we're not gonna. The point is, we're not gonna have this format every week where it's all Colorado, all Arizona, because, first of all, this is kind of this special like this was the inspiration for the state sports special. Which you guys might have seen the new logo on my Instagram page. It's basically state sports special in gold lettering plus red, white, and blue star. It's really not a huge thing, but I think it's honestly pretty cool. The state sports special, guys, is going to be awesome. If you're enjoying Under the Radar, it's going to be a fantastic show. I'm really looking forward to it. This is the project that I'm most looking forward to, even more than my first episode of Under the Radar here. So this is going to be amazing, guys. I am really committed to making the state sports special an awesome show. I got the alternate logo and everything. I think I might do another logo overhaul soon. I don't know about the crest right now. I feel like I'm going to test the waters a little bit with just play around with a bunch of logos. If you guys have a logo app or website you want to recommend to me, please do. I don't want to pay for it, but nonetheless, I think this is going to be a really fun show. We got all Colorado special. It is kind of too late right now, guys. Let me just say this: right now it is 11 a.m. on the Sunday before Game 3 of the NLDS 2018. So the Rockies might be done by the time some of you listen to this. But I did want to mention the Rockies because I think they had a fascinating story of the season. They held off my favorite team, the Dodgers, and I wanted to know why. But I do want to talk about the Nuggets because they have plenty of interesting stories, and I'm already wasting your time. So let's get right into those Denver Nuggets. Obviously, we pretty much have a format by now where it's just a quick little run through the depth chart, just the basics for this team, and I'll obviously just take a look at overall this team and get more into it as we go along. The players on this team are very fascinating, and I'm going to be honest. It's not exactly a team sport anymore, NBA. I mean, it is still technically, but everybody's going with their own brands now. I've had some very interesting conversations about them, and I think I'm going to get into it more later. But I'm looking at the players in this team, and they're all very interesting. Gary Harris, Will Barton, Paul Millsap, Nikola Jokic, and I look at Nikola Jokic. His contract, guys. Nikola Jokic is the main guy. He signed a extension very recently. His rookie deal was over. So, he signed an extension. He will be with the Nuggets until 2023. He'll be paid around $25 to $30 million a year. Although what I found fascinating was that he was drafted 41st overall in the 2014 NBA draft. And then I looked at people around him, and I was like, wow. Here are some notable people drafted in the second round of the draft. Spencer Dinwiddie, who had a breakout year with the Nets last year. Glenn Robinson III, winner of the Slam Dunk Contest. Jerami Grant. Nikola Jokic was drafted 41st. Jordan Clarkson was 46th. Thanasis Antetokounmpo, 51st. Notable undrafteds. No really notable undrafteds that I'm looking at right now. I will say this though, but if you're a guy like Nikola Jokic is drafted 41st, I mean, the talent pool, must be huge. But then I look at the top of this draft, you look at guys like Andrew Wiggins, Jabari Parker, Joel Embiid, and then Aaron Gordon, Dante Exum, Marcus Smart, Julius Randle, Nick Stauskas, Noah Vonleh, Alfred Payton, Doug McDermott, Zach LaVine. These are not, Nurkic, obviously, who I mentioned before, but they're not really the most stacked draft that I've seen by a long shot. So, looking back on this, I mean, Joel Embiid drafted third. People thought he was Greg Oden, and no, he's not. I mean, he's been fantastic when healthy. Nikola Jokic, though, guys, if you guys don't know who Nikola Jokic is, he was the center of the Nuggets' really fast-paced offense. People were about the Jazz and Hayward and Gobert for a little while until Hayward left. But, I mean, Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets' offense is really high-octane and really actually a fun team to watch, in my opinion. And I think it's going to get even more fun. I was about to say funner. With the addition of what I think should not be an experiment by now, but somehow is. Their starting point guard, ESPN lists the Nuggets starting point guard as Jamal Murray, and I think this is ludicrous. Not because I'm hating on Jamal Murray or anything, because I mean I'm sure he's a great point guard. Not great, but he's a solid point guard. But the guy behind him on the depth chart is Isaiah Thomas. And first of all, this is not the Isaiah Thomas that ruined the New York Knicks. This is a new Isaiah Thomas, folks. Isaiah Thomas, man, I'm gonna be honest. He's my favorite player. I mean, I can't believe what's happened to him. Like, people have not done justice to him. Because, I mean, he had a breakout a couple of years in Boston. In 2016, he played in 82 games, started 79 of them. His points per game in the last 5 years are 22.2, 28.9, 15.2, 14.7, and 15.6. The 15.2 is his points per game in total last year. Sorry, because he played with Cleveland and the Lakers. My problem with him is he was great in Boston, like outstanding in Boston, and his points per game has never, since his rookie year, since his first 2 years in Sacramento when he was still, he hasn't really dipped below, since 2014, he's never dipped below 15 points per game, which I think is fantastic. But he did not fit in with the Lakers system. With LeBron, with him hurt, he didn't fit in with Cleveland, but that's because they let him play in 15 games. I don't think they really gave him a chance, Mr. Thomas. I mean, the Cavs did not give Isaiah Thomas enough of a shot. And I think, honestly, he'll be really fun to watch in the Nuggets. I think they're going to build their offense around Nikola Jokic, who can pass and shoot, and he's a unicorn. I mean, you look at guys like Karl-Anthony Towns, Joel Embiid, Kristaps Porzingis. You look at all those guys, you think, okay, those are the most elite unicorns. But Nikola Jokic, like, he is a fantastic player, like, fantastic guys. He's really is a game changer. And the number one star on a lot of teams, including the Nuggets. He would be a number one star on a lot of teams in the NBA right now. A lot of people would be very happy to get a guy like Jokic on their team. And then you look at this guy, you guys know who Paul Millsap is? Paul Millsap was drafted, again, another great story. He was drafted 47th overall. Really, the Nuggets have drafted guys that were, guys that have broken out after getting drafted late. He signed a huge deal with the Nuggets. A 2-year, $61 million contract. $60 million, which is guaranteed. An annual salary of $30.5 million. And then next year this year he'll earn $29 million. Next year, $30 million. He'll be a free agent at 35, and he'll be pretty much set for life. Before that, he was on Atlanta his entire time. He declined a $21 million player option with Atlanta for this. So I mean, that's crazy. He does have, Paul Millsap is a very interesting player because I don't know what to think of him because you look at his stats, like, he's notable. He's not elite, I would say. Nowhere near that, but he's a really consistent big man. I think, Denver was smart, I would say, in signing him. With Atlanta, he was a fantastic part of that Atlanta team. I do want to talk about the Hawks soon on Under the Radar because, I mean, they're not exactly under the radar. They are in the city of Atlanta, which is, I think, in a sports resurgence. You look at the new stadiums for Atlanta, both Atlanta teams, and Atlanta Falcons on the rise. Atlanta Falcons already risen. Atlanta Braves on the rise. The Hawks have kind of receded into the background, so I do want to talk about them soon. I also want to talk about how they kind of fell apart. Like, the Hawks had a lot of all-stars. Now they're all over the place. So, obviously we'll see about that. So, he averaged 17 points per game with the Hawks, 17.5 points per game with the Hawks. He played 7 seasons in Utah, which, I'm going to be honest, I forgot about that. But he was definitely a star while he was in Atlanta. Denver, 14.6 points per game. I guess that's solid. 46 from the field, 34 from 3-point line, 34.5 from the 3-point line. I guess good, but he did play in only 38 games, as opposed to 81 just 2 years back. So, first of all, Millsap will have to play more games. Second of all, Millsap will show the good player potential he had in Atlanta. Actually, I do wanna take a look at guys like Will Barton and Jamal Murray, because right now, there's also Gary Harris, who was oh, I see. Okay, so Gary Harris was a first-round pick, guys. I am curious to see how many of their guys are second-round picks. All right, Will Barton was a second-round pick, and then Jamal Murray. Let's just check real quick. Jamal Murray. I'm gonna kind of knock him today, but he's good. Not great, but Isaiah Thomas. You gotta think about it. Why is he? All right, Jamal Murray was drafted 7th overall. Okay. So 3 out of their 5, let's say, starters are second-round picks, which I think is fascinating, and I think really kudos to the Nuggets to finding not to the Nuggets, but to these teams for finding diamonds in the rough to eventually hand to the Nuggets. But I digress. I do think it's going to be an interesting experiment with Millsap, Jokic, and Harris. They're not exactly, Curry, Durant, DeMarcus Cousins. So hate to say that, but it's a good. And I love their signing of Isaiah Thomas, because I think he fits with their system perfectly. What I remember last year was Rajon Rondo and the New Orleans Pelicans. I know he's a Laker now, and I don't know what to think about that, but he was Rajon Rondo. If you guys don't know, he was the assists guy in New Orleans. He literally all he did was just pass the ball to Cousins and Anthony Davis with tremendous efficiency. So that'll be interesting. But we will obviously see what happens there. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know about this one. if Rajon Rondo, what I'm saying is, sorry, I lost my train of thought, guys. What I was thinking of was Isaiah Thomas. I think has the potential to be the Nuggets' Rajon Rondo this year, in that he can pass, but he can also shoot when you need to, shoot from the 3, be their guy, be their non-big man guy. Because Gary Harris, he's a shooting guard. He can't be a point guard. I'm sorry. I just don't think he's capable of that sort of position. He is really a score first guard. And so is Isaiah Thomas. Sure, but Isaiah Thomas can also easily dish it out with the best of them. So I think if you put Isaiah Thomas in the starting lineup, you got Isaiah Thomas, Gary Harris, Will Barton, theoretically, Millsap, and Jokic. Or I think it'll be fun to see if you put a 3-guard lineup of Thomas, Murray, and Harris along with Millsap and Jokic. Because if you guard all the guards with the tall guys, or if you have a mismatch with, because then there's a mismatch with one of the guards, with Murray, Harris, or Thomas, and they're all very good. So, and then you have say a small forward guarding, say, Gary Harris. But that means you have someone that's around Isaiah Thomas's height guarding Isaiah Thomas. So, honestly, we'll see how that works out. I'm looking at their bench, Malik Beasley, Juan Hernan Gomez, Trey Lyles, Michael Porter Jr. is 4th string for them. Nobody really knows that I do want to talk about. I will say this, though, Isaiah Thomas is indeed my favorite player, and I'm just really sad how this league has gotten, how Isaiah Thomas, just because you're trying to find every excuse for a short guy like him to not play in this league. That maybe it's just that, he's hurt or whatever. But I'm not buying that. Like, I'm not buying the, Isaiah Thomas is hurt, that's why we're not signing him. People do have stereotypes about the guy that is drafted last overall. Like, he was literally picked last in the NBA draft. Obviously, I love this. I could have a whole special on Isaiah Thomas. If you guys want that, please tell me, because I would love to do it. I would love any excuse to talk about Isaiah, because he's as under the radar as they come. By the way, guys, I do have a couple more announcements. First of all, this is the first episode that's also going to be on. Sorry, I was going to do this at the beginning of the show. I forgot. Just a quick thing. Now it's not just on Spreaker. We're also on Overcast, guys. We want to be on as many platforms as possible. So Overcast, thank you for just letting me put my URL in there. They really didn't contact me at all. Obviously, it's a small podcast over here, but also we've got. Please email me, guys. Come on, I'm checking my Gmail right now. Nobody's emailing under the radar nsr@gmail.com. But sorry, I was going to mention that at the beginning of the show. Back to the Nuggets. Man, Will Barton. Like, Will Barton is not. He's not. Well, first of all, let's talk about Gary Harris for a sec. Like, he was drafted 19th by the Bulls. Like, that'd be interesting, by the way. With the whole, like, three alphas, Rondo and Wade and Butler. Imagine if Harris was there, too. Then it'd be like, kind of like the Phoenix Suns, when they had, like I talked about last week, when they had, like, Dragic and Thomas and all those guys. Alright, well, points per game is 17.5, so kudos to him on that one. 39% from the three-point line, 48% from the field, so overall above average season for Harris, excuse me. He started 65 out of the 67 games he's played. He played, these guys, the thing with the Nuggets is that they gotta play, everybody's gotta play as many games as they can. Somewhere in the, mid to high 70s. Everybody in the Nuggets has to live up to their potential. And I think they can, I'm not gonna say they can go far in the playoffs. I'm saying right now, they have the tools to make it. If Isaiah Thomas, Gary Harris, Millsap, and Jokic all play to their potential, this team might be a little scary. I'm not saying Warriors topic scary. Nobody at this point, I think, can challenge the Warriors. I'm sorry, Celtics. I'm sorry, people that think LeBron James can do it all by himself, which he can, but until he plays the Warriors. But, I mean, like, this Nuggets team is basically a contender already. If we take everybody at their face value over here. Man, I don't know why everybody's hating on Isaiah Thomas, for lack of a better phrase, but I'm really tempted, guys, to rant about Isaiah Thomas right now, because he was drafted last overall in the 2012, what is it? In the 2011 draft. So, Isaiah Thomas was drafted last in the 2011 NBA draft. And I just like to give you guys some perspective here about why Isaiah Thomas should be with his 20 points per game and unbelievable skills. He should be taken as he is. Okay, the first overall pick, and I think this is kind of full circle, was Kyrie Irving. He was selected first overall by the Cleveland Cavs. Isaiah Thomas, who was drafted last overall, 60th, what replaced him and was considered a worthier replacement in the Irving trade. Jonas Valanciunas drafted 5th. He's not been as good as Isaiah. He's been schooled by him. Bismack Biyombo, Brandon Knight, Kemba Walker, Klay Thompson, I guess Kawhi Leonard. You can't argue with Kawhi Leonard. But, the guards drafted ahead of him, Reggie Jackson. Who the heck is Juwan Johnson? Juwan Johnson? I don't know how to pronounce his name. I guess Jimmy Butler. But, he's... God knows where he's going to be in the next 3 days. Or whatever. But Isaiah Thomas, the point is, Isaiah Thomas was drafted the last pick overall and should not have been drafted last overall because he's been great. I will say this, Isaiah Thomas went to the Lakers on February 8th. he played a few games. Like, I just feel so bad for the guy because like everything after getting traded, from the Celtics, like everything went downhill from there. Like, everything for him. I mean, it really does make me feel terrible for the guy. But Isaiah is not happy about just. I'm guessing he's not happy about just not being respected, because if I was Isaiah, I would think he would be past that by now. But basically, what I'm going to wrap up by saying about the Nuggets is that they have a lot of interesting pieces and a lot of people that are really fascinating and interesting, and like Jokic, Harris, Millsap, a lot of players that, you don't really think about that often, but are really interesting players, and they can probably contend. I guess their ceiling is probably maybe Western Conference semifinals, but I do doubt it. I am gonna transition to the Denver Broncos now, who are also in Colorado. First of all, Von Miller. Just an alert about Von Miller. Von Miller is one of the best players in the league, and he's getting paid $2 million this year. Although his extension will kick in, he will be paid $17 million next year, and then he does have an out in 2020. So that'll be interesting. We'll see. Oh, I see. He cleared cap space for Denver. Okay, I see. That's a nice guy right there. He was drafted 2nd overall in the 2011 draft. The 2011 NFL draft. Okay. Let's check it out briefly. Cam Newton drafted 1st overall. Von Miller drafted 2nd. Marcel Darius, and then AJ Green 4th. Pat Peterson 5th, Julio Jones fell to 6th somehow. Allen Smith, Jake Locker, Tyron Smith, Blaine Gabbert, J.J. Watt. I mean, that's actually like a really good, wow. I mean, you look at Von Miller, J.J. Watt, Richard Sherman. Wow. Muhammad Wilkinson, I guess. I mean, they got some pretty good defensive guys over here. Nick Fairley, Robert Quinn, Ryan Kerrigan. Prince Amukamara has been pretty good, low-key. Drafted 36 overall, some guy named Colin Kaepernick out of Nevada. From Denver. Nevada guys, in 2010, they won the Craft Fight Hunger Bowl. Just a quick call back there. So you look at Denver. Their quarterback right now is Case Keenum. And if you're not familiar with Case Keenum's story, think about Nick Foles, reduce it a little bit, that's Case Keenum's story. Case Keenum was a backup for the Vikings in last year's season. It was Teddy Bridgewater was about to return from injury. Sam Bradford seemed like a respectable quarterback to lead the Vikings to maybe the divisional round, but like nothing further than that. Basically, the Vikings, a few weeks into the season, basically decided they have no choice but to start Case Keenum. People are so upset. Case Keenum leads the Vikings to the 2018 NFC Finals. But NFC Championship rather. But we'll see with him this year. He's been okay, I guess. Like the Broncos right now, you look at the AFC West. They got a lot of under the radar teams who I do want to talk about in the future. I've already discussed the Raiders. The Broncos are 2-2 right now, so respectable. Kind of, this week they play the Jets, so that was a win. So they beat the Broncos, and then they beat the Raiders, and then the Ravens beat them, and then the Chiefs beat them. Which was a hard-fought game. I loved that game on Monday night. Like, kudos to Tessitore and Witten and McFarland. Like, that was a great called game and a great game overall. This week they play the Jets. Next week they play the Rams, who will probably beat them really easily. They play the Cardinals next, Chiefs. I mean, thank God they don't play the Rams again twice. They do play the Browns on the 15th, which is a marquee matchup because Baker Mayfield is Baker Mayfield. Just looking at the Broncos though, like they are hugely underrated. No wonder I would have them on the show. I mean, I don't have them separately, even though that is all Colorado, especially Colorado very underrated sports state. Look at the assets they have. They have Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. And if you don't know who either of those guys are, I'm sorry, but those are two of the most underrated receivers in the league. And they've been great. You know, and I will say this, the 2018 NFL Draft, the Browns seem like they're smart now they took Baker. But I will say this, the Browns did one dumb thing this draft, and that was drafting Denzel Ward. And I have nothing against Denzel Ward, but when you let the Broncos, who already have Von Miller, draft Bradley Chubb, you've made a mistake. Honestly, I think this might have been a good time for the Broncos to draft a QB. Like, if the Broncos, like you look at, like, Darnold and Mayfield, like, the next guy drafted was Josh Allen. Like, I don't know about Josh Allen, but maybe, like, Josh Rosen. Or, heck, even Lamar Jackson. Like, he was drafted way too late. But, I mean, I digress, like, I know, like, they could have drafted a quarterback. Some people, I mean, arguably they should have, but when you have Von Miller and you can get a guy like Bradley, like, Von Miller is the perfect mentor for a guy like Bradley Chubb. Like, that's a perfect mentor. Honestly, like, I honestly think there's nobody better for that. And then if you're the Browns, like, I understand positional needs, but you can't let a team like the Broncos add Bradley Chubb to an already very stacked defense. And it was like, oh, keep to leave left. They still have got some notable guys: Brandon Marshall, Bradley Roby, Chris Harris Jr., Darian Stewart. I mean, none of those guys are huge names. Like, I mean, Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, those guys are huge names. But I mean, Shaquille Barrett is a backup now. Devonta Pecco, Brandon Marshall, Bradley Roby, Chris Harris. They're still a scary defense, like a scary defense. Royce Freeman, I don't know what to say. People think Royce Freeman's good. I'm going to be honest, they're wrong. Royce Freeman is okay. Royce Freeman is good the way, I don't know, the way pasta is good, plain pasta is good at restaurants. Once in a while, I guess sometimes you're in the mood, but most of the time, it's not worth it. So, like, Royce Freeman is not Royce Freeman is not the key to the elite Broncos season. I will say this, though, the Broncos have not a terribly hard division to work with. They do have some tough matchup against a team like the Rams, but I think their ceiling is maybe getting as a 6 seed. I don't see them getting far in the playoffs at all. Their defense is still a force to be reckoned with. That is definitely for sure. But I do think the Broncos are a very interesting case. I do want to talk about Emmanuel Sanders a bit more because he's an enigma. Honestly, with me, like I don't know. Like, do people think he's a top-tier receiver? Yes. Do people give him the respect that he deserves? In spite of that, no. Emmanuel Sanders, first of all, I think it's a fun name. Like, just a cool name to have, Emmanuel Sanders. Like, I don't know. I think that's like a perfect name for a famous person, Emmanuel Sanders. I digress. Oh wow, Emmanuel, before we went to Denver, Mr. Sanders played for Pittsburgh. I mean, can you imagine Emmanuel Sanders the way he's been now with Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster? Like, imagine. Wait, actually, let me see. Let's actually see what Emmanuel Sanders, what this history. I actually did not know this, guys. I did do my research about Emmanuel, but I did not know he was a Steeler. Well, guys, like, seriously for a second, Emmanuel Sanders, guys, is a top-tier NFL receiver. But could you imagine if he went with Juju, Anthony McDonald, and the dynamite that is Antonio Brown? All right, let's look at where his previous contract. Spot rack again. Thank you. He was drafted in the third round, signed a 3-year, $1 million contract with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh matched an offer sheet with New England. Emmanuel Sanders to New England. And then in 2014, he could play wherever he wanted, so he decided to go to Denver. Because they offered him the most money for a 3-year, $15 million. Let's actually look at his stats on Pittsburgh. Played a lot. Did not start many games. He played 16. He played 16 games, started 10 of them. He in Denver, his 5 years in Denver, 44-40 receiving yards. Touchdown-wise, 34 touchdowns, 23 touchdowns and 23 career touchdowns at Denver over the course of 4 years. You know what? That's not so bad. Hey, I think his time in Pittsburgh alone is under the radar, but I mean, Pittsburgh, I don't know what you're thinking. You should have kept him. Like, can you imagine? Like, seriously, that's a huge what if right there. Like, Emmanuel Sanders is a great receiver, probably better than Smith-Schuster right now, and I mean, arguably better than Smith-Schuster right now. Not as good as Antonio, but then again, nobody is as good as Antonio right now as far as receivers go. So, can you imagine if a guy like Emmanuel was with all those guys? Like, I would love seeing that. Like, all of them in their prime playing together. Because Emmanuel Sanders is 31 years old. Like, he's I'm not even going to back end about. I would say he's not exactly in his prime anymore, but he's in the tail end of it, I think. I will say this, though. I hope he does go far, Emmanuel. Denver is so many players like Emmanuel, like Von Miller, that just deserve a championship, deserve a good quarterback. And I think Case Keenum can be the guy. Like, I know he's not the most desirable guy, but Paxton Lynch, I knew he was a bust. I'm going to be honest, I watched that draft. I knew Paxton Lynch was a bust. From the moment I saw him walk on that stage, I'm like, Paxton Lynch. Because I had seen some, I mean, not film, but like I had watched a couple games of his in Memphis, and I'm like, alright, you know, like some kids, some college guys are like good in college, but that won't translate to the pros. Paxton Lynch was like the stereotypical example of that. And it was actually sad to watch. Honestly, I knew he was like slowly torn apart by the NFL. Like, Paxton Lynch, like, I feel bad for you, man, but you're not going to make it. Like, Paxton Lynch, he's a free agent right now. Kudos to the Broncos for finally letting go of him, because he was, like, people are like, what happened to, I think Paxton Lynch might be where are they now got to. He's 24 years old, drafted 26 overall out of Memphis to the Broncos, was like their savior, dead contract. He's out a 4-year, $9.5 million contract, which is pretty big because they got Mr. Lynch going, and they thought that Lynch had $9.5 million in his pocket from the instant he didn't play a single snap. And then you look at Case Keenum, like, Case Keenum now, like, is he, I think he's a placeholder. Like, the Broncos adjusted him because it's a 2-year, $36 million contract. He's going to be gone by 2020. But where will the Broncos? All I'm saying is the Broncos need a quarterback. Not a Paxton Lynch quarterback. Like man, the Broncos. Like, I don't know what to say about them because honestly, like they're not. They need a quarterback. Like, I will say this. Broncos, great choice getting Mr. Keenum, but if you think he's going to be anything other than a placeholder, you're kidding yourself. Like, you are kidding yourself. Like it's insane. How much, really how much guys like Paxton and Case Keenum are still believed in by the Broncos. Folks, I would like to transition. We are going to run a little short of Broncos time. It's only 15 minutes of Broncos time, but I will say this. The Rockies, I think, are fascinating, and I do want to get into more of the state of Colorado teams. For a minute, I do want to wrap up about the Broncos by just talking about, and I hate to say it, their stadium. Broncos Stadium at Mile High has been there for a long time. I will say this is really sad. The Broncos Stadium at Mile High is it's a pretty good stadium. I'm looking at the 3D map right now, just for the heck of it, because I just saw it's a 3D map. Like, the best seat in the house is pretty good. But I will say this: it used to be called up to just a few months ago. The stadium was called Sports Authority Field at Mile High, which is not Sports Authority. For those of you who don't know, is not a thing anymore. There is not. I'm gonna because if your stadium is called Sports Authority Field, wow, it's going bankrupt. Like, I don't know what to say, honestly. Looking around the feed. Actually, I'm looking around the. If you guys go to the Broncos website, they have you can look at the 3D tour of the stadium. And if you I just went to the best seat in the house. I went to the 50-yard marker. And if you look around, you see a lot of like Broncos, orange, whatever. Nothing's really changed, the fireworks. But if you look at the scoreboard, the main big scoreboard, it says Denver Broncos on it. Above it, you'll see a sign that still says Sports Authority. And I think that's really just... there's another, there's a smaller scoreboard. It still says Sports Authority Field. And it, I'm sorry about that. I hate to say it, but there's Sports Authority signs all over on here. They do have the Ring of Honor. I mean, this is actually really cool, this 3D sitting thing. So kudos to the Broncos, but, I mean, I'm sorry, guys. Like, you guys kind of screwed up here. For those of you that are Broncos rooters, like, I don't know what to say. The Broncos is another one of these teams that I've featured on. A lot of these teams that I've featured on the radar are teams, just like the Nuggets, too, are teams that you don't know. They have a wide range of outcomes for their season, like a huge range. I think they could be anything from sensational to a complete bust. I think their max is maybe 12-4 if they ride an easy schedule, with a division that includes the Chargers and the apparently now bad Raiders. The Chiefs, Mahomes is now the GOAT, but otherwise, like, it's not a huge, not at a hard division. Oh, the Rams, that's an easy win next week for the Rams. If the Rams win this week, Rams Seahawks, if the Rams win this week, then they're basically 6-0 because they're playing the Broncos this week, and the Rams are better. Anyway, the Rams are one of the best teams in the league. So all I'm going to say about the Broncos is they have a lot of interesting things going for them, but this is not one of them. There are a lot of things going for them. There are a lot of things going against them. But we'll see with the Broncos. We'll see. They have a really wide range of outcome. But we'll see. And yeah, that'll be fun. We'll obviously see. So let's look, guys. Sorry, I feel like kind of out of touch today. I do feel like I've been kind of all over the place for this. So I'm gonna transition to the Rockies because baseball is something that is definitely, as you guys probably know by now, is my strongest sport, my strong suit. Some of you may know that already. Some of you may be learning that. Baseball is my strong suit, and I will talk about the Rockies, but I am going to talk about the Rockies in a form of a preview of today's matchup, and it might not matter. The Brewers might just easily sweep them, but I'm going to take a look at the preview for the Brewers-Rockies game today, and it starts at 4:30, so it's after we tape the show. It's going to go. It's 12 p.m. It's probably 12:45 at the earliest if you're listening right after the show is posted. The matchup is Wade Miley against Herman Marquez, who is not so good at the tiebreaker. 4 runs in 4 2/3 innings. 7 true quality starts at home, which is interesting, and they are at home now. Wade Miley is 5-2 with 2.57 ERA, which is incredible for a guy like Wade Miley, who's been, I'm going to be honest, a butt of jokes for a while. Folks, if you guys head over to MLB.com, they have like the starting lineup thing, but they have like lineups, matchups, FAQ. So here's the projected starting lineups according to Major League Baseball for the Rockies. They have Blackman, Mayhew, Arenado, Gonzalez, Story, Parra, Desmond, Ionetta, and Marquez against Kane, MVP, Yelich, Braun, Shaw, Aguilar, Moustakis, Eric Kras, Orlando Arcia, and Wade Miley. Lauren Arenado, by the way, is a great player. Blackman is a fantastic center fielder, one of the best in the league. DJ LeMahieu is one of the most underrated second baseman infielders really in the league. Trevor Story has been fantastic. Ian Desmond, a bust, especially for my fantasy team. The Rockies will be starting Marquez, who, of course, you guys know from the wild card game, as a victim of the Dodgers' almighty hitting machine. I will say this, though, about the Rocks. They do have a chance today. Like, Wade Miley is not the best pitcher in the world. Far from it. Like, guys, all I'm saying is, I don't think the Rockies can win this series. Like, it's too late now for that. Like, it comes down to a Game 5. Brewers win. But, I mean, man, like, I didn't think the Rockies would end the season, and I knew I wanted to do a Colorado special before this DS started, so I wasn't even sure if the Rockies were going to, like, lose the wild card or whatever, but I was just hoping that they would keep it competitive in the division series, and I thought they would. I was wrong. I'm going to say that. I will say this, though, first. MLB, I feel bad for you. Major League Baseball, you look at Major League Baseball and their product, so to speak. Major League Baseball does not want Rockies Brewers in the playoffs, so they might want. I mean, I'm not suggesting a conspiracy theory, but MLB might want the series to end as soon as possible. But we'll see. Obviously, it remains to be seen how this series will turn out. Wade Miley, like, seriously, like, he is a butt of jokes for a lot of things for me. So I don't know, like, he was bad on the Orioles, and the Orioles were terrible this year. So, you know, we'll honestly see what happens with the game today. I just hope it stays competitive, because I don't want to, I just hope the Rockies win. For just my sake, guys, to be honest, like, it would kind of suck if I did an episode and then the Rockies just lost the division series right after the episode. Like, it'd be kind of like if I had an episode about the Diamondbacks, like, the week after the day when a couple days after the Diamondbacks were eliminated from playoff contention. Oh wait, that's exactly what happened. But you know what? I honestly think I do want to take a moment to say, guys like the Brewers are my first episode. The A's had a great year this year, even though they did lose to the Yankees. That was expected, and that was to be expected. So honestly, I'm actually pretty happy with a lot of my teams this year. The Indians. Not been so great. Their series is going to end soon, but I think, you know, the Indians, like I do want to sidetrack, guys, but ultimately, we got to talk about the Rockies, not just about their game today, because, I mean, I don't know if they're going to win this one, but let's just talk about Luna real quickly, and I've actually, you know, I've talked about this with a lot of people that I know, and SR, and they all agree with me on this. Arenado is considered overrated, but is actually underrated for the exact same reason. Let me explain why. Nolan Arenado, he plays in Colorado. Obviously, I wouldn't be talking about him otherwise, but I digress. Nolan Arenado is underrated for one reason and one reason only. People think he's only good because of Coors Field and where he is. And yeah, when the stadium is a mile high, which it is, people move the ball. The balls are easier to hit, even with the humidor that they use. Look it up; it's a fantastic story. But you know, Arenado is still a great player, one of the top players in the league. So you know, we'll see what it is. So we will definitely see what happens there. I will say this about the Rockies, like, they're a fun team. Like, what other team has the right to wear purple? Like, come on. The Rockies are a super fun team. If you guys have ever seen their mascot, Dinger, if you guys have ever seen, he's a purple dinosaur. Like, their mascot is literally a purple dinosaur. Their scoreboard is going to be shaped like a mountain. Like, you can just have, like, some fun, gimmicky stuff. And they've only been around for, like, 20 years, so they can pretty much do whatever they want. So that, I think, is going to be super fun. But you know what? We'll see. The Rockies, like, I don't know what to think of that because they're about, like, I'm going to be honest, they're about to lose. But I'm really hoping they don't. Like, I want to see the series go wow. I just want to talk about the future of Colorado in sports. Let's just, the uniforms for, like, everything from, like, uniforms to, like stadiums. Like, let's look at the Nuggets. Like, let's take a look at the stadiums because I do want to. So, like, I think it's really interesting to see the thing with the whole Broncos Stadium. So, you know, Pepsi Center is the name of the Nuggets Center. That's not going bankrupt anytime soon. And then the Coors Field is, I actually went to Coors Field. It rained and rolling on out. I didn't play. I think it was Memorial Day, but it was also super fun. If you've never been to Coors Field, it's so fun. Like, it really is, like, just a weird, fun place. Like, Coors Field was, like, super fun. If you ever been to Coors Field, you guys may know that it has, like, the outside is kind of, like, retro-y looking, and then everything inside is gimmicky and fun. Like, that's basically what it is. It looked kind of like Ebbets on the outside, but it's Angel Stadium on the new Angel Stadium on the inside. Like, it's kind of crazy how fun it is. If you guys don't know, there's a Purple Row. You know, there's a one red seat that's very famous in Boston, but the Purple Row in Coors Field is already pretty famous and should be more famous. There is exactly one Purple Row at Coors Field that is, and one Purple Row. And there's rows above the Purple Row. It's not the top row of the stadium, but there's a Purple Row, and it is the one row that is exactly 1 mile above sea level. And if you're in that row, first of all, it's kind of cool. You got purple seats. Second of all, it will literally take your breath away. Yeah, there's there's like 5 rows above it, but, I mean, still, if you're a mile above sea level, that's terrifying. You're also watching a baseball game, and hard balls are being launched at your face. But I digress, like, it's super fun. Coors Field, if you've ever been, it's one of the most fun stadiums I've been to ever. So yeah, you know, Colorado, like, it's an interesting state because you look at the you look at how much they've been Nuggets, Rockies, Broncos, right? Those are the 3 big teams. I mean, and the 3 teams that we're considering today under the radar. The Broncos were established in 1959, so that's a long time ago. 1960. So that's a while ago. The Rockies were established in 1991. The Nuggets, okay, they were also established in 1967. But the point is, the Rockies are relatively new. These teams aren't huge, but they're all fascinating. Like, really interesting. Like, if you look at the Nuggets, Allen Iverson played for the Nuggets. Carmelo Anthony played for the Nuggets. Dikembe Mutombo played for the Nuggets. I mean, there's so many crazy teams. Like, I mean, Chauncey Billups played for the Nuggets, guys. I mean, Yusuf Nurkic played for the Nuggets. I mean, you look at the Rockies, like, they don't have a bunch of crazy amazing people, but, you know, you look at Andres Galarraga, Dante Bichette, like, those guys are already pretty much, listen, like, Todd Helton, like, Michael Kadire, Larry Walker, like, Don Baylor was one of their managers. You look at the Broncos, they had John Elway, I don't know, Jake Plummer, Peyton friggin' Manning. I mean, there are some really interesting teams. Colorado was a really fun sports team. I visited Colorado for Memorial Day weekend a few years ago, and while I only went to Coors Field, it was May, so like Nuggets were in the playoffs that then. But Colorado just seemed like a very vibrant sports city, and just also especially the city of Denver. But here's the thing: even though the Nuggets are called the Denver Nuggets, and you know the Denver Broncos, you have to realize that just like Arizona, these teams have an entire state behind them. So an entire state lives and dies with these teams. So I think those teams are very special just because of that. Although the Milwaukee Brewers are about to get a sweep, and so presumably are my Dodgers, and so the Astros, and basically what I'm saying is in the next couple of days, all of my under-the-radar teams will be pretty much all but out of the playoffs, except for the Brewers, of course. Kudos to them. You know, we'll want to see. We will see with the state of Colorado. This episode, guys, is going to be a little shorter today. I don't really have quite as much material. I'm going to be honest. Denver has a lot. Basically, the recap is the Broncos, Rockies, and the Nuggets all have very interesting players that are all interesting to study individually by themselves. Even 20 minutes devoted to just them. Like, there are some fascinating teams, and you really should all keep tabs in the state of Colorado because this state has the potential to grow in the sports world and become more prominent, become a state that really is great. We'll see how they rank in the state sports special along with Arizona. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please email me undertheradar@nsr@gmail.com. Any questions for next week, for the future. So next week we are going to have the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to have the Royals, and we're going to have the Cardinals. Cardinals? Did I have the Cardinals already? Wait a second. Okay, did I have the... I believe... Alright. Let me check this quickly. So we're going to have... I believe we're going to have a Missouri... Kansas City Chiefs, Kansas City... and next week is going to be a lot of fun. I do believe that's how we're going to do it. Please email me at undertheradar@nsr@gmail.com. Check out Spreaker, check out Overcast. If you're listening to Spreaker, check out Overcast. If you're on Overcast, check out Spreaker. They're both brilliant platforms. Yep, we're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna talk Chiefs, Royals, and Cardinals next week. We're going to go more Midwest. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please enjoy Game 3 of the NLCS today. Root for the Rockies for Under the Radar. Root for the Nuggets and the Broncos to go far this year. The Broncos won't need any help. They're playing the Jets this week. But everybody, please have a great day, great week, a great month, a great year, etc. This is Samuel signing off. We'll see you guys next week. And have a great day, everyone.